guys, it's Tammy. Well, today Miss Vicky from Vicky's Country Home has asked me and several other channels to be a part in a collaboration that she's got going together called Something Unusual About Your Homestead. So I've pondered and pondered and pondered and pondered on this, tried to figure out what to say, and I guess our journey itself is kind of unusual, maybe not. I know everybody's got their own journey, but I thought maybe I'd share a little bit of that, and also throw a little clip in here of my animals. I actually had babies last night, or this morning actually. I'm figuring about 6 o'clock this morning. I had 2 little bucklings born, and I was excited to get them born. I actually was trying to wait and do this video to see if they was going to be born, and they were, so I'm excited about that. But I've got another doe due the 19th, and then another one that is probably due within a month, maybe even longer than that. I'm not sure when that one got bred. So I'll be doing videos for sure on those when the time comes. But so to get on with this collaboration, I thought a little bit about what kind of person I am and what is in the depths of my heart. Me and my husband, we got married later in life. He had 2 children, I had 2 children, and we've been raising them together for, well, we did raise them together. They're grown now and married, and I've got 5 grandbabies. And so we just, we got married in the midst of all that. But during all that time, my passion for my kids and growing up was I always wanted to raise my kids kind of like a Little House on the Prairie days. I love the whole idea of it. I was raised on a dairy farm, so that's all I knew, and I was kind of raised that way in a lot of ways. I mean, I didn't dress that way or nothing like that. But as for living off the land and doing what we could do with what we had, that's how I was brought up. My husband, on the other hand, he was born near the coast in North Carolina, so his lifestyle was they did a lot of fishing out in the ocean. He's a big flounder fan, and now he's a big bluegill fan because this old farm girl got him eating bluegill. But and his father, he had greenhouses, business greenhouses. And he done floral. He done more floral than anything. He went around to florists and stuff like that. So, and my husband, therefore, he's got the business side of things down, and I've got the manual side of things down when it comes to our little homestead here. Our vision here for this homestead, we didn't have this until 2007, the end of 2017, December 2017 actually. And so we're still getting established. We don't have a lot of things set up yet. But part of our goal is to have greenhouses and to be able to sell produce. Particularly tomatoes is a biggie for us. And I'm thinking of maybe some potted flowers and different things, squashes, things that tend to grow good here because we do have a spring and my garden is down near the spring. So I think that's really made a big difference. This land was virgin land, and it was pasture land. It was only pastured. It was all it I was ever used for. So therefore, but it is rocky land. But where my garden's at is really good. We've not had any issues with rocks or nothing. But it's perfect for goats because of all the rocks. They love climbing and all that kind of good stuff. So that's been perfect. I have chickens. I've had ducks. I will be getting some more ducks this spring. A fox actually got all of mine this past year. So I'll be getting some more this coming spring. I have always, with my passion of wanting to raise my children like Little House on the Prairie days, therefore having a farm and a homestead in itself is being a homemaker, and that has been a very, very important part of my life. It's not been the most popular part of my life when it comes to society today, and I know that a lot of people have to have 2 incomes, and I have always had a part-time job, and there's been several years that I had full-time jobs. but the majority of the time I raised my children, I've tried to keep just a part-time job. I was a beautician, which I'm still a beautician, but I'm not really practicing anymore. I just started not practicing since we moved here on this property. So my head has been more in the game of really establishing our homestead more, in the aspect of being self-sustainable. So with being more self-sustainable, being a housewife is something that is pretty needed, in the aspect. Uh, Even raising my kids during the time that I was raising my children, I homeschooled them actually for a couple years, but I didn't do that very long. And part of our homeschooling was watching Little House on the Prairie every day. So we've seen 50 million episodes of Little House on the Prairie over and over and over and over again. But it's been dear to me. And my grandmother on my dad's side was half Chippewa Indian, and she was a very crafty lady. She sewed a lot. She made craft things a lot, and I learned a lot sitting in a chair that I actually have in there in the den of that she showed where she used to sit while I would sit beside her on the floor and her teach me things, how to do different types of sewing and crafting and stuff. Actually, some of the things you see behind me here, the big window, you can't see it in detail good, but I created that. My niece actually created the lettering, but I've been redoing it here lately. And then this picture here, I just redid it. And I'm actually going to do a video on me redoing that. And I've always, in quilting, my grandmother taught me a lot about quilting. I've actually made several quilts for my grandkids and myself. So that's an important part of that aspect for me, because I want to be able to, Proverbs 31 is a biggie for me. I know you see my cat standing back there. I see you, Malachi. That is a house cat that we've not had a house cat in forever. I don't think we've ever had a house cat, but he ended up in the house, so there we go. But on with what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of great heritage involved in the things that are unusual about my lifestyle of being a homemaker, and I feel like it's very important. We have chose to not get ourselves too far out to where, as part of the reason we bought this place is because we sold our home place that we raised the kids in. It was a huge house, and therefore selling that, it helped get us out of debt and be able to get this. We're still in some debt, but nothing compared to a mortgage, now. And it's making it slow go in getting this homestead set up, because we are trying to do everything we can to stay out of debt as much as we possibly can at all. With that being said, some of the heritage that I like to glean from and know from is different things. Like, for instance, this here is my grandfather. I didn't get to know my grandfather. This is my dad here. But this is my grandfather in the middle and my uncle. And through them, actually my uncle right here, he's the only witness I got to a fish, and I don't even know what kind of fish it was now because I was a kid, we got out of the river that was ever bit. It wasn't a catfish, I do know that much, but ever bit 3 foot long, and I don't know what it was, but he's the only witness I got, and bless his heart, he's passed away now, to see me catch that fish, because he's the one that helped me get it out of the bank, which we didn't get it all the way out of the bank because it broke the line getting tangled up and stuff, and he was a goner. So I kind of think it was a carp, which wasn't anything we would ever keep and eat, but at the same time, it was a big fish to me when I was a kid, So I gleaned from these type of things in those aspects. This here elm is my great-grandfather on my mom's side and my great-grandmother. I think about them, and I think about my different things this is on my mom. Like I said, this is on my mom's side. That was on my dad's side. My dad's side was the craftiness and all those things, and the farmer in me, because that's just who I am. My mom's side, my grandmother, she was a big cook, and she worked in schools, And ever since I can remember, she's always worked in a school. And in the summer, she worked at the church camp cooking as well. So, and she's always cooking for a bunch of kids. She actually had 6 kids of her own. She actually had 8, but 2 passed away. So she was just cooking left and right constantly. And I actually got to live with her for about a year and get to really glean from those things and the hardcore woman that she was. And, back then we milked cows by hand. And, well, not everybody did. My dad didn't on his dairy farm, but they did because they only milked a cow a day. And so I got that experience at the same time, as well as butchering chickens, because that was a big thing. That it wasn't nothing to see grandma out there going to go get a chicken for supper. And I got to experience some things that I won't add on to this concerning butchering chickens, but that's something that kids don't get to really learn like they used to. And I really appreciate the fact that I got to. My husband's great-grandfather, this is a man that I'm not sure, I can't say, I think this is the business side of my husband. His mother's side seems to be more the business side of things. So therefore, that's going to represent us well when we finally, good Lord willing, get our greenhouses established and set up and all those things. But I think about my heritage and where it came from, and we've got this. This was ration tickets that my husband's, I'm wanting to say great-grandparents, I think it was, had. And, it says on here for different things that it's for and the dates on it, and you had to have the, I don't know what all you had to have on it. There was a lot of different things. There's a lot of fine print on here, and I don't have my reading glasses on right now. But the War Ration Book 1, it says United States of America, and the warnings about it and all, and what she was able to get, the father, the mother, different ones that could go and get this stuff. And I think about this and I think, what has been sown into my life through generations past. And therefore, I want to leave a legacy for my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren, and so on. I want to leave that legacy. To me, that is something that I want to hang on to, and maybe it don't seem unusual. I'm not sure if it seems unusual. I know within the community, the YouTube community that I belong with, a lot of people are like-hearted passions, and that has been wonderful because for a time, you feel like you're out there on the left field and you're not the most received. And the YouTube community has really brought that within our homestead communities, has really encouraged me. And I think that that's great. And I think that could even in itself be unusual to have that. And I'm thankful for that. But anyway, I hope this wasn't too long. And I hope it made some sense. I guess the most unusual thing about what I'm saying is I believe in homemaking. I don't believe it's for everybody because I know that everybody has a place in life that they are to fulfill. We have to have women teachers. We have to have nurses. We have to have all these things. And those are very, very important places to be. So I don't want to come across as homemaking is the way it's supposed to be because I don't believe that. But I do believe for my lifestyle and my vision in life that it's been what I was supposed to be. And God knows, if you've ever been a homemaker / farmer going on, you work just as hard as anybody that's doing a 9-to-5. And so, it's not that. If anything, there's a lack of things. It's the more of the moral things that I want to establish instead of the financial things that we want to establish. I guess you could say that. That's how to put, I don't know how to put that, but I think you probably understand what I mean by that. Those ethics are very important to me, and that's what I want my family to glean from with that. Anyway, But anyway, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. And like I said, I encourage you to go check out the other folks on the collaboration, because I know there's going to be some funny things, and there's going to be some serious things, and there's going to be some cool things. And I want to let you see my baby goats. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, and till next time, God bless. Good job, Leah. This is first time mama. She done awesome. She just had them this morning, but I wasn't out here. Good girl. Good girl, mama. And this is Jen. You can see she's brought us born. She's my next one due. She's due the 19th. That's Daddy there, acting goofy. Sounds like there's a cow over yonder having a calf, or looking for a calf. And then Miss Rachel, I don't know when she got bred exactly. She's just now starting to develop a sack, so I'd say it'll be another month, maybe even 2 months. There's the king of this roost. He's got some competition now, but his competition is going to be dinner soon.